The Galactic Council had ruled the stars for 10,000 years. Ambassador Vel of the peaceful Kree Empire stood before the massive holographic display showing Earth's location. The blue-green world looked deceptively calm from space. Another primitive species, Vel muttered to his aide. Nix. They call themselves humans. Our scouts report they're still using chemical rockets and fighting wars over resources. The council chamber buzzed with quiet conversations. Representatives from 50 different species filled the crystalline amphitheater. Most were tall, elegant beings with pale skin and large eyes. Evolution's answer to civilized worlds with gentle climates. Captain Tor of the Kree Defense Fleet entered the chamber. His usually calm demeanor showed cracks of concern. Honored Council, he began, the Earth monitoring mission has ... complications. Vel raised an eyebrow. Complications? From primitives who barely reached their own moon? Their planet is a Class 12 death world, Tor announced. The chamber fell silent. Even the floating meditation orbs stopped humming. Council leader Zara stood from her throne. Her ancient voice carried across the chamber. Impossible. No intelligent species can evolve on a Class 12 world. The conditions are too harsh. Tor activated his datapad. Images filled the holographic display. Earth's surface showed violent storms, massive earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. Gravity is 1.7 times standard. Atmospheric pressure fluctuates wildly. The magnetic field is unstable. Radiation levels would kill most of our species within hours, yet they thrive there. Nix whispered, studying the data. The images shifted to show human cities. Billions of the strange bipedal creatures lived in massive settlements. They had tamed their hostile world through sheer determination and technology. Look at their physical structure. Tor continued. Dense bone structure. Redundant organs. Their muscle fibers are 3 times stronger than ours. They can survive injuries that would kill any council species instantly. Ambassador Vel felt a chill run down his spine. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we've found a species of natural warriors. They've spent their entire evolutionary history fighting their own planet. And winning. Council leader Zara studied the humans more closely. The creatures moved with purpose and confidence. Even their young appeared robust compared to other species' adults. What is their technology level? Primitive, but advancing rapidly. They've developed nuclear weapons, spaceflight, and complex computing systems in just the last century. Their rate of progress is ... unprecedented. The chamber erupted in worried whispers. The Kree Empire had taken 3,000 years to develop similar technology. Their social structure? Vel asked, though he dreaded the answer. Highly organized. They form complex alliances and wage coordinated warfare. They've survived multiple extinction events through cooperation and adaptation. They're not just survivors, they're conquerors of nature itself. An elderly council member named Pike stood slowly. We've made contact with over 200 species. None from worlds above Class 4 difficulty. These humans are from a world that should have killed them long ago. Which means... Zara prompted. Which means they're not like us at all. We evolved on garden worlds. Peaceful planets with stable climates. We developed intelligence and culture in safety. But these humans ... double quotes. Pike paused, his voice trembling slightly. They forged their minds in fire and their bodies in chaos. The holographic display showed human sporting events. Creatures voluntarily fighting each other with their bare hands for entertainment. Others throwing themselves from great heights attached only to fabric wings. Some racing mechanical vehicles at deadly speeds. They do this. For fun? Nix asked in disbelief. It appears so, Tor confirmed. They actively seek danger and challenge. What we would consider torture, they call recreation. Ambassador, Vel stared at the images of human children playing rough games that would hospitalize adult council members. What do we do with this information? Council leader Zara was quiet for long moments. The weight of decision pressed on her ancient shoulders. We observe. We learn. And we pray to the cosmic winds that they never look to the stars with conquest in their hearts. And if they do? Pike asked, Zara's eyes fixed on the image of Earth, that small blue world that had spawned something unprecedented. Then the galaxy will face something it has never encountered before. A species that doesn't just survive adversity, but thrives because of it. The chamber fell into uneasy silence as the council members contemplated their discovery. They had found humanity, but more importantly, humanity would soon find them. 3 years had passed since the council's discovery of Earth. Ambassador, Vel stood in the observation deck of the monitoring station, watching human space activities through advanced telescopes. What he saw made his blood run cold. They've built 17 new orbital platforms in just 6 months, reported Lieutenant K, his new aide. Their space program is advancing at impossible speeds. Vel studied the images. Humans were constructing massive structures around their planet. Metal frameworks stretched across the void, connected by transport ships that moved with military precision. What are those installations for? Unknown. But they're heavily armed. Kay highlighted several weapon systems on the display. Those projectile launchers could destroy our scout ships from incredible distances. A communication alert chimed through the station. Captain Tor's face appeared on the main screen, his expression grim. Ambassador, we have a problem. The humans have detected our observation posts. Impossible, Vel replied. Our stealth technology is beyond their understanding. Apparently not. Tor transmitted new footage. Human ships were approaching the hidden Kree monitoring satellites. The vessels moved with purpose, their hulls bristling with weapons. They've reverse-engineered our scanner signatures. Vel watched in amazement as human engineers dismantled Kree technology with primitive tools. They worked in the vacuum of space without the advanced life support systems the council species required. How are they surviving out there? Basic pressure suits and oxygen tanks, Kay answered, reviewing the technical data. What would kill us in minutes, they treat as routine work. The human ships finished their examination and withdrew. Within hours, new human satellites appeared in the same locations. The message was clear. We know you're watching, and we're watching back. On the surface of Earth, Colonel Rex Stone stood in the newly constructed Global Defense Command Center. Banks of computers surrounded him, displaying data about the mysterious alien visitors. His team of scientists and military advisors worked frantically to decode the foreign technology. Sir, we've analyzed the alien materials, reported Dr. Emma Cross, the project's lead scientist. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of ours, but it's built for entirely different conditions. Rex examined the alien components. They were elegant, delicate, designed for low-stress environments. Meaning? Meaning they come from worlds nothing like Earth. Their equipment can't handle our gravity, our electromagnetic fields, or our atmospheric pressure. They're physically weak. Weak how? Dr. Cross pulled up biological scans taken from traces left on the alien devices. Their bone density is 1/3 of ours. Their muscle structure suggests they evolved in low-gravity environments. A human child could overpower their strongest adult. Rex felt a mixture of relief and concern. So we're stronger, but they have better technology. For now. But we're catching up fast. Our people are already adapting their designs to work in Earth conditions. In 10 years, we might match their capabilities. And in 20 years? Dr. Cross smiled grimly. In 20 years, we'll surpass them completely. Meanwhile, on the Kree homeworld, emergency sessions filled the council chambers. Representatives from across the galaxy gathered to discuss the human situation. Fear was spreading through their civilized worlds. Council leader Zara addressed the assembly. The humans have not only detected our monitoring, they've begun expanding their military capabilities at alarming rates. Ambassador Dan from the Azure Federation stood to speak. My analysts predict they'll achieve faster-than-light travel within 50 years. Once they leave their system ... they'll spread across the galaxy like a plague, finished Commander Bex of the Stellar Guard. Zara nodded solemnly. They're doing something no species has ever done. They're adapting our technology to their Deathworld conditions, making it stronger, more resilient. What do we do? Asked Pike, the elderly council member. We prepare, Zara replied. We strengthen our defenses. We unite our fleets. And we hope that when they come in peace. But in the depths of space, human probes were already pushing toward the outer edges of their solar system. Earth's population worked with unified purpose, driven by the knowledge that they were not alone. Every factory, every laboratory, every military base focused on a single goal, reaching the stars. Colonel Stone stood before a massive wall display showing their progress. Ships under construction, weapons being tested, soldiers training for zero-gravity combat. Humanity was awakening to its cosmic destiny. They think we're primitives, he said to Dr. Cross. They have no idea what Deathworlders are capable of when we set our minds to something. The galaxy had ruled in peace for millennia. That peace was about to end. Asterisk. The first battle happened at the edge of human space, near the ice moon of Europa. Captain Jake Miller commanded the Earth defense ship Phoenix, humanity's first true warship designed for deep space combat. His crew of 42 humans faced impossible odds. Contact bearing 270 called out. Navigator Lisa Park. Multiple alien vessels approaching fast. Jake studied the tactical display. 12 sleek alien ships moved in perfect formation toward the human mining operation on Europa. The Kree had finally decided to act first, before humanity could spread further into space. All stations battle-ready, Jake ordered. His crew moved with practiced efficiency. Unlike the aliens, humans had been preparing for war their entire species' history. Admiral Vell commanded the Kree strike force from his flagship, Serenity. He had argued against this attack, but the Council overruled him. Fear had made them desperate. Target the human facility first, Vell commanded. Minimal casualties. We're here to deliver a message, not commit genocide. His weapons officer, Sub-Commander Wren, looked uncomfortable. Sir, the human ship is moving to intercept. Should we destroy it? Vell studied the lone human vessel. It was half the size of his smallest ship, built with crude materials and basic technology. One ship against 12? They must be planning to surrender. He couldn't have been more wrong. Captain Jake opened a communication channel. Alien vessels, you are approaching a human colony. Turn back immediately or face the consequences. Vell almost laughed. The audacity of these creatures amazed him. Human vessel, you are outgunned and outnumbered. Withdraw and we will spare your lives. Counteroffer, Jake replied coldly. Leave our space now, or we'll send you home in pieces. The Phoenix suddenly accelerated toward the Kree formation. Its engines burned brighter than any alien technology could sustain. The ship moved like a predator stalking prey. Impossible, whispered Vell's tactical officer. Their acceleration should tear their ship apart, unless they built it to withstand forces that would kill us. Vell realized with growing horror. The Phoenix opened fire first. Its weapons weren't elegant energy beams like Kree technology. They were crude, brutal kinetic cannons that launched metal slugs at incredible speeds. The projectiles tore through the lead Kree ship's shields like paper. Return fire. Vell ordered. The Kree energy weapons struck the Phoenix directly. The human ship's hull glowed white-hot from the impact, but it kept coming. Emergency alerts filled the Kree bridge as their sensors registered something impossible. "Sir, the human ship is using the heat from our weapons to power its engines," reported the science officer. "They're converting our attack into thrust." Jake smiled grimly as his ship absorbed the alien firepower. Earth engineers had studied every captured piece of alien technology. They knew exactly how to counter it. "Target their command ship," he ordered. "Show them what Deathworld engineering looks like." The Phoenix unleashed its full arsenal. Missiles, railguns, and plasma cannons designed to function in the harsh conditions of space around Earth. The weapons were over-engineered, redundant, and brutally effective. Vel watched in shock as his advanced shields failed under the primitive but overwhelming human assault. "How are they doing this?" His dying science officer gasped out an answer. "They don't build for efficiency, sir. They build for survival. Their technology? It's designed for war." 3 Kree ships exploded in the first exchange. The remaining vessels tried to retreat, but the Phoenix pursued them relentlessly. Captain Jake's voice echoed across all frequencies. Message received and understood. Humanity will not be intimidated. Back on the Kree homeworld, the survivors of Vel's strike force delivered their report to the stunned council. The chamber filled with whispers of disbelief and terror. "One ship," Council Leader Zara repeated slowly. "One human ship defeated 12 of our finest vessels." "It gets worse," Admiral Vel reported. "His career in ruins, but his honesty intact. Our intelligence was wrong. They weren't lucky survivors on a harsh world. They're a warrior species that evolved through constant conflict." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying we picked a fight with the one species in the galaxy that lives for fighting. Every human is trained from birth to face adversity. Every piece of their technology is built to endure punishment that would destroy our civilization." Council member Pike stood shakily. "Then we surrender?" "We can't surrender to a species we just attacked," Zara replied bitterly. "We've started a war with creatures who turn warfare into an art form." Across human space, the news of the Europa battle spread like wildfire. Humanity had won its first victory against the aliens. But more importantly, they had announced their presence to the galaxy. Colonel Stone watched the celebration broadcasts from Earth. "Now they know," he said to Dr. Cross. "Deathworlders don't just survive. We conquer." The galaxy's age of peace was officially over. Asterisk. Deep in the restricted archives of the ancient library on Kithra Prime, scholar Myra made a discovery that would change everything. The old texts, written in the long-dead language of the first ones, spoke of a prophecy that had been dismissed as myth for thousands of years. "Council Leader Zara." Myra's voice trembled as she contacted the emergency session. "I've found something in the Forbidden's texts, something about the humans." Holographic council chamber materialized around the scholar. Representatives from dozens of worlds appeared as shimmering projections, their faces etched with worry after the Europa defeat. "Speak quickly, scholar," Zara commanded. "We're planning our response to the human threat." Myra activated the ancient text display. Symbols older than recorded history filled the air. "This is from the Chronicle of the First Ones, written 50,000 years ago. Listen to this passage." Her voice took on a formal tone as she translated. "When the galaxy grows soft and complacent, when peace breeds weakness across the stars, the children of fire shall rise from worlds of death and chaos. Born in pain, forged in struggle, they shall inherit the cosmos as was always intended." The council chamber fell silent. Pike, the elderly representative, leaned forward. "Children of fire?" "It gets more specific," Mira continued, her hands shaking as she scrolled through the text. "Here, they shall come from the third world of a yellow star, where the ground shakes and the sky burns. Their bodies shall be iron, their minds steel. What kills the weak shall make them strong." Admiral Vel felt his heart sink. "Earth orbits a yellow star. It's the third planet," There's more, Myra said urgently. The prophecy speaks of their nature. The galaxy shall fear their might, for they know only victory or death. But fear not their conquest, for the children of fire were destined to rule. In their hands the stars shall burn brighter. Council leader Zara stood slowly. Are you saying the humans were prophesied? That their conquest was foretold? Not just foretold, destined. Myra pulled up another section. The first ones weren't just observers. They were guardians, preparing the galaxy for this moment. Look at this. The text revealed detailed plans. Star charts showing safe worlds where intelligent life could evolve without hardship. Genetic manipulation programs that created docile, peaceful species. Environmental controls that ensured comfortable climates across hundreds of planets. We were designed, whispered Ambassador Dan from the Azure Federation. Our entire civilization was artificial? Not artificial. Protected. Myra's translation continued. The galaxy was made ready for the children of fire. Peaceful worlds would provide resources. Gentle species would serve as stewards until the true inheritors arrived. Pike stood with difficulty. You're saying we're not the natural rulers of space. We're caretakers. Caretakers for humanity, Mira confirmed. The first ones knew that only a species forged in hardship could handle the true challenges of cosmic dominance. The dark things that lurk between galaxies. The ancient threats sleeping in dead systems. As if summoned by her words, the chamber's emergency alarms began wailing. Admiral Vell received an urgent transmission from deep space monitoring stations. Council, we have a problem, announced Captain Tor from the outer rim. Long-range sensors are detecting movement in the void sector. Something massive is stirring in the dead systems beyond our borders. The display shifted to show star charts of the galaxy's edge. Dark regions that had been empty for millions of years now showed energy signatures. Ancient things were awakening. The Devourers, Zara whispered, her face pale with ancestral memory. The stories our grandparents told. The things that consumed entire star systems before the galaxy went quiet. Mira nodded grimly. The prophecy speaks of this too. When the children of fire take their throne, the ancient hunger shall wake. Only those born of death worlds can face what comes from the darkness. Back on Earth, Dr. Cross detected the same energy signatures from humanity's deep space arrays. She burst into Colonel Stone's office with printouts of the readings. Rex, we're picking up massive signals from outside the galaxy's edge. Something big is moving out there. Stone studied the data. His military mind immediately grasped the implications. How big? Planet-sized. Multiple contacts. They're heading toward inhabited space. Time to arrival? At their current speed? Maybe 50 years. Asterisk. Stone was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled grimly. 50 years to prepare for a war against something that scares the aliens more than we do. You think that's what this is all about? Why we evolved on Earth the way we did? I think, Stone replied, looking up at the stars through his office window, we're about to find out why the universe needed Deathworlders. The galaxy's greatest test was coming, and only humanity was ready for it. Asterisk. 50 years had passed since the prophecy's discovery. The galaxy had changed beyond recognition. Humanity now commanded fleets of warships that dwarfed anything the old council had imagined possible. Admiral Jake Miller, once captain of a single vessel, now stood on the bridge of the massive dreadnought Earth's Fury. Admiral, long-range sensors confirm it, reported Commander Sarah Blake. The Devourers have entered our galaxy. 12 planet-sized entities moving toward the core worlds. Jake studied the tactical display, showing the cosmic horrors approaching. Each devourer consumed matter itself, turning entire solar systems into empty void. Behind them stretched a trail of nothingness where countless worlds once existed. Status of allied fleets? The Kree, Azure Federation, and Stellar Guard have assembled at Rally Point Alpha. 2,000 ships under unified command. Sarah paused. They're waiting for us. Jake smiled grimly. The same species that once feared humanity now begged for human leadership. The prophecy had been right. The galaxy needed its children of fire. On the bridge of the Kree flagship New Dawn, Council Leader Zara watched human ships arrive in formation. Each vessel bristled with weapons, designed not for conquest, but for survival against impossible odds. The humans had spent 5 decades preparing for this moment. Admiral Miller, Zara's voice carried across the communication channels. The combined fleets await your orders. Jake's response was calm and confident. All ships maintain formation. We're going to show these ancient monsters why Deathworlders inherited the stars. The first Devourer emerged from hyperspace near the Rim colonies. It was a nightmare made manifest, a writhing mass of dark energy that consumed light itself. Entire planets simply ceased to exist as it passed. All fleets, engage Pattern Delta, Jake commanded. Remember, these things have been asleep for millions of years. They've never faced organized resistance. The human strategy was uniquely brutal. While alien ships used precise energy weapons, human vessels launched massive volleys of kinetic projectiles and nuclear warheads. They didn't try to match the Devourer's energy. They overwhelmed it with raw destructive force. Captain Lisa Park, now commanding her own battle group, led the first assault. Her ships dove directly into the Devourer's energy field, their hulls glowing white-hot from the cosmic radiation that would have killed any other species instantly. Target the core structures, she ordered. Hit them with everything we've got. The human fleet unleashed hell. Weapons designed to function in the depths of space, powered by fusion reactors that could burn for centuries. Each shot was calculated to maximize damage against an enemy that fed on energy itself. Devourer's reaction was immediate and terrible. Tendrils of dark matter lashed out, destroying dozens of alien ships. But the human vessels kept coming, their crews protected by technology born from Earth's hostile environment. "It's working," shouted Dr. Cross from the science vessel Newton. The kinetic bombardment is disrupting its energy matrix. The first Devourer began to collapse, its ancient structure unable to handle the concentrated assault. As it died, it released a psychic scream that echoed across the galaxy, a sound of pure rage and disbelief. 11 more battles followed. Each Devourer fell to the same strategy: overwhelming firepower delivered by species that had learned to thrive in chaos. The galaxy's peaceful races provided support and logistics, but the killing blows came from human weapons and human courage. The final battle took place at Earth itself. The last Devourer, larger and more ancient than the others, made a desperate assault on humanity's homeworld. It wanted to destroy the source of the resistance that had defeated its kind. Jake Miller stood on the command deck of Earth's orbital defense platform, watching a cosmic horror approach his birth world. Around him, the combined might of human civilization prepared for the ultimate test. "This is it," he announced to the fleet. "Everything we've built, everything we've become, comes down to this moment." The battle was fierce but brief. Earth's defensive grid, powered by the planet's molten core, unleashed energy levels that dwarfed stellar fusion. The final Devourer died in a blaze of light that could be seen from neighboring star systems as the cosmic threat faded into memory. Jake received surrender offers from across the galaxy. Species after species acknowledged humanity's right to rule. The prophecy was complete. Years later, Emperor Rex Stone stood before the new Galactic Assembly on Earth. Representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to hear humanity's vision for the future. "Didn't conquer you," Rex announced. "We saved you. And now we'll lead you to greatness among the stars." The galaxy had feared humanity's might, only to discover that Deathworlders were indeed destined to rule. And under human leadership, the stars would burn brighter than ever before. The End, asterisk.